These might be the best running shoe ever made. Welcome to Soul Searching Episode 1. I am your host, Coach Cala, and I just came back from a run in these Adios Pro 4s, carbon-plated shoes made by Adidas, and these are my initial thoughts. If you're new to the channel, I am a local PE teacher, marathon runner, HYROX athlete, and my main goal is just trying to help my students and supporters and everyone else watching get moving. Full disclosure, I'm not sponsored by any of these shoe brands yet, and I paid for these shoes with my own money. Now let's get into the video. So Adidas made these amazing carbon-plated shoes. These are the fourth one. These Adios Pro 4s. Now, that's a mouthful, so I just call them the Adios because I'm running so fast in them. I was super excited to go to Marathon Sports, a local running store with my Sound Runner team, and try on these Adios Pro 4s because I knew I needed a new carbon plate. I've been rocking the A6 Metaspeed Edge Paris for a few years, and I just kept telling myself, I feel like they're not feeling that good. The second I put these on, I couldn't believe they were a carbon plated shoe. They felt incredible, nice and bouncy, enough cushion, and then as I started going fast, the carbon plate was amazing. Just so perfect. My immediate first impression from my run, they just felt perfect and amazing. I sat in my car for about 20 minutes after I said bye to my whole team. Again, shout out to Sound Runner, but they just felt amazing. I was texting my brother, texting my friends back and forth. Do I get them? Do I get them? Not only did I get them, but I got them in blue and red, which matched the calisthenics color, Superman, Spider-Man, all the cool things that we like watching. I've only worn them for about 10 miles and they feel amazing. And I'm not trying to have that new runner bias, so I'm sure I'm gonna have a few more episodes about this Adios Pro 4, but let's get into other things I like about it. One thing that really draws my attention when I'm buying any type of shoe, no matter what they are, is the colorway. Love the colorway. It's just so nice. Again, it reminds me of Spider-Man and Superman. The weight of the shoe, super light. I mean, if I could just throw it up and down like this, it's just so light. I barely could feel it. It squishes really easy. There's nothing heavy compared to some of my other shoes. This is just really light. It's only about 7 ounces. So these are wicked light on my feet, and I love them, love them, love them. So the weight isn't an issue. The colorway rocks. I love both of them. Now, what makes it the super shoe that it is the carbon plate, how it curves down this way, right? So when I'm hitting the floor fast, I feel it. When I jog slow, it stiffens up a little bit because it's not using its full effect, what that carbon plate was made for. So if you're getting the shoe and you notice you're running or jogging slow and it's your light day, that is not what this shoe is for. This shoe is made for people that want to run fast. If you're just trying to run every day, I don't think these shoes are made for you, but I have other options for you that I think could be better than this. And running in a carbon plated shoe every day kind of hurts my legs after a while and they just get stiff. So I'm gonna show you what my current rotation is. Big ASICS fan. I've done a few videos on my ASICS shoes. These are the ASICS Nova Blast 5. I'm gonna do a full soul searching episode on these as well. But if you're new to running and need an everyday trainer, that is what I highly recommend. These ASICS Nova Blast 5. My only critique on these, again, and I don't know why I even bought them, but they do feel great most of the time. If I run and I start feeling the heel on the run because of how big this drop is, it really does like bother my leg and my mindset. I'm like, oh, I could feel it hitting the floor first. And a lot of people are heel strikers, and that's a form of running, of course, but I wouldn't say I'm quite a heel striker. And if you want to compare just the heel from this thing to this, I mean, it's not even close. All right, but looking for a new shoe just for daily running or for your kids or whoever, I would recommend this one, number 1. ASICS Nova Blast 5. Another shoe in my rotation. I only really use these for HYROX workouts and Orange Theory. However, I do plan on running with them outside eventually. These are the Brooks Period 3s. I absolutely love these shoes. They are so light. I wore them in my HYROX DC with my brother. My only critique on these, after 4 or 5 miles, they started hurting my feet a tiny bit. I think it's just because they're still new and I've only worn them to Orange Theory, but I just love how they feel. The grip is really nice on them, but this is another shoe that I'm gonna make another soul searching episode on. So stay tuned, folks. Now, my last shoe in my current rotation, and yes, I have a lot of shoes, hence why I wanted to start this podcast on soul searching. I just love finding the right shoe that fits, similar to the Cinderella story. These are the Mizuno Neo Vistas. They have a plastic plate or their wave plate in them. They feel really nice, but they are a bit heavy for me. And my critique on these, besides the heaviness, is when it's cold out, you can really feel that plastic plate tighten up, and I'm not a fan of that. I was trying to buy these to be my everyday trainer. You cannot beat the price. They're $100. The other shoes I've shown were about 100, 150. They do feel great. I love wearing them to school. If you're looking for a shoe from Mizuno, which I think is an excellent brand, again, not sponsored, but I will still take the sponsorship, I would suggest a shoe, the Mizuno Neo Zen, which had no plastic plate, and I loved wearing them every day. They felt great. So those are my 3 current rotations of shoes. If you're trying to wear a shoe every day just around your house, Canes. I love Canes. They're made in Connecticut, and they actually sponsored my lacrosse team last year. So Canes, I will always talk good about you. The difference between this Adios Pro 4 and those everyday shoes is the carbon plate. Again, it's designed to make you run faster, and that's something for a tough 5K, a half marathon, a 10K, which is 6.2 miles, or a marathon. But let me compare this shoe to my old Asics plates, the Asics Metaspeed Edge Pairs, because my first impression of this shoe was, wow, they feel light, cushiony, and just way different than these Asics. So let's compare. The Asics Metaspeed Edge Pairs, I believe I'm at about 150 miles in them. The grip on the bottom just does not feel the same anymore, but I think I'm gonna retire them after one more half marathon. First impressions of these, and you can go back and watch that video. I'll plug it right here on the screen. They felt amazing for the longest time. I wore them for the New York City Marathon, my half marathons, my 10Ks. All of my PRs are in this shoe, so I'm a little sentimental about them. I will say the biggest thing I noticed was that my legs really hurt after 13, 14 miles in these. Now, could I have ran a little bit too fast during the New York City Marathon? Absolutely. But I think these shoes are really good for a half marathon. And when after about 50, 60 miles in these, I started feeling them stiffen up a little bit, and I thought maybe it's just my head. I'll just go run in my daily trainers like the Nova Blast or the Mizunos. No. After a while, I think they just got too stiff. The carbon plate in them are just not what they were. Now, this is a very fast shoe, similar to these Adios Pro 4. But the biggest thing I noticed the difference was the design of that carbon plate. Look how it curves up, right? This one kind of goes sideways and down. This one goes down, then up again. And I just loved how cushiony these were. Like, these felt like I was running on clouds during that whole first 4 miles and that first 8 miles that I have in these shoes. These felt great, but every run since the first like 50 miles, they really feel a little bit stiff. So really excited to break these in and try these out on my soul searching journey. Really made me want to buy these is how many of my friends loved the Adios Pro 4s. I just can't get over how cushiony they are and that they have a plate. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. On who the shoe is for, I think this is for anyone that wants to really start progressing in their racing and their hard runs. I think this is a shoe for you, for your tempo runs, your fast runs, anything where you're gonna be really pushing yourself that day. I do have friends that wear their carbon plates every day, and if you're included in that group, then by all means, this would be the shoe for you too. But anyone that's looking to start off running really fast and hard, I think this would be the shoe for you. If you're new to running, I would avoid carbon plates right away because 1, you'll never go back. 2, the price right now online, they're $250. We had a 20% off discount. But I still think that my final verdict is these are going to be the best shoe of the year. I heard they're dropping a 5th shoe, so I might be a little bit behind in the game, but those Asics Metaspeed Edge Pairs lasted 3 years. These are gonna last me quite some time. It's a little too early for me to judge how great these shoes are gonna be, so stay tuned for another soul searching episode on these Adios Pro 4s. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Of course, my name is Coach Cala, just trying to help my students and supporters get moving. If you like this shoe review video, check out some of my older ones and stay tuned for my next soul searching episode. Appreciate it, everybody. Get moving.